If stories about love, betrayal, and brutal truth hook you, welcome, and yes, hit subscribe. Here's mine, cleaned up and sharper. I knew the moment I saw him that everything had been ruined. It wasn't anger on his face. It wasn't even rage. It was a quiet, empty kind of grief, the look someone gives when a piece of themselves has been taken and can't be put back. He didn't yell. He didn't beg. He just looked at me like I had crushed something sacred, and then he turned away. Ethan and I met in college. He studied mechanical engineering. I studied communications. He was practical and steady, always 3 steps ahead. I was impulsive and messy, chasing feeling and connection. In the beginning, those differences felt electric. He grounded me. I made him laugh. We fit in the messy way people in their 20s do. After graduation, life rearranged us. Ethan fell into a job that chewed up hours and patience. 12-hour days stretched into 14. He came home tired, distracted, absent. I cooked. I left notes. I planned weekends, little attempts to reach something I could no longer reach with him. Each, I'm too busy, and not now was a small injury. Over time, I stopped trying. I felt lonely in the only place that used to feel safe. Then Caleb showed up like a bright patch of sunlight in a gray room. We met at a coworker's birthday. He wasn't even supposed to be there. We talked, laughed, and it felt effortless. He followed me on Instagram. A few days later, he messaged. What started as small talk became daily check-ins, compliments, good morning texts, things I hadn't realized I'd been missing so much. With him, I felt noticed, alive again. I told myself it was harmless, a friend, nothing more. But one evening, a drink led to a walk, and a walk led to a kiss I didn't pull away from. That's how lines get crossed, not with a dramatic collapse, but with a series of small agreements and private justifications. For 2 months, I carried 2 lives. At home, I put on the mask and supported girlfriend. Outside, I became the spontaneous, wanted version of myself. I kept telling myself I deserved this, that I was still a good person, that Ethan would never know. Guilt didn't hit as an immediate confession. It came as hypervigilance, deleting messages, checking my phone, inventing excuses. Ethan noticed the changes. One night he asked, "Is there someone else?" I lied. I said no and felt the lie lodge in my throat like a stone. He accepted it, or at least he nodded, and I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. 3 days later, Ethan was gone. No note, no explanation. Half his things were gone from our apartment. My calls went to voicemail. His office said he'd taken time off. Then the messages started from my mother, my cousin, my friends, my manager, all of them forwarding the same thing. A link to a Google Drive title proof that Claire Patterson cheated. I clicked. The folder was a dossier. Screenshots, timestamps, locations, voice notes. Everything with Caleb laid bare. There was even a video of me leaving Caleb's place, laughing, kissing him goodbye. Ethan hadn't confronted me. He had built a case. And then he shared it with everyone he thought I cared about. The humiliation was immediate and violent. My mother stopped answering. Friends I'd known for years disappeared from my life. My manager called me in and said the company needed distance. My personal mess was spilling into work. Caleb blocked me and vanished, claiming he didn't sign up for the fallout. I was left alone in a sudden, echoing way I'd never experienced. I chased apologies at first, texts, calls, visits to his new place. The one time he opened the door, he looked at me, said, "You broke my heart. I wanted you to feel that," and then closed the door. That slam echoed louder than the folder anyone else had seen. It wasn't only punishment. It felt like an attempt to force me to confront who I'd been. Rebuilding didn't happen overnight. It was slow, hard labor. I started therapy. I deleted social media accounts to stop the daily stabs of shame. I read about accountability and shame and how you actually repair a life after you've hurt someone you loved. I journaled. I cried until I thought I had none left. I learned to sit in discomfort without running from it. I learned the difference between solitude and being alone by choice. I learned that "I didn't mean to" is not the same as "I'm willing to change." I learned you can feel lonely inside a relationship and still be responsible for the decisions you make. I stayed. I own what I did. Owning it didn't soothe the shame, but it started me on a path away from excuses. Do I forgive him? I don't know. Do I forgive myself? Not yet. But I'm working toward both in a way I wasn't capable of before. Maybe Ethan's exposure was cruel. Maybe it was the only thing that made me finally see myself clearly. Either way, I'm learning to live with the consequences and to become a person who, next time, would choose differently.